My name is Jillian Perrick, and I'm a lover of all things orange chocolate. Think One Tree Hill is way better than the OC. And as a person who stutters, I hope to one day inspire women with invisible disabilities to overcome their limiting beliefs and start the business of their dreams, just like I did. I'm a mindset coach specializing in imposter syndrome, helping women beat their inner imposter using neurolinguistic programming, hypnosis, and time techniques. And this is the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. This podcast is for you if you're an entrepreneurial woman trying to navigate the online space with a lot of passion and a lot of uncertainty. If you feel like your ideas are unoriginal, that your message isn't necessary or important, or like you're a complete and total fraud, then you've come to the right place. This podcast will take you from imposter to empowered with ninja-like brain hacks, easy to implement strategies, and uplifting real talk to make you feel like everything you want is in reach. Let's get started, girlfriend. Hey everybody, how is it going? So funny story, I actually tried to record this episode last week and I just was not feeling it, and I was sitting here recording, like literally staring at Audacity, and then I realized that it wasn't recording. It was doing that thing where it says it was recording, but the little needle wasn't moving, so it actually didn't record any of the audio, and I was just like, okay, I'm done now, and closed my laptop and just went and sat on the couch because it was just like not happening that day. Obviously the universe had other plans for me or just wanted me to calm the fuck down. So I'm going to make sure that this is recording, which I can see that it is. And welcome back to the pod. And today's episode is going to be a really great tool for you to use in order for you to get calm, get grounded, especially when you're in that inner imposter cycle. And that cycle can look a little bit like negative thoughts, which translate into feelings of unworthiness, which then contribute to your limiting beliefs and then turn into self-sabotage. So let's think about, and then it goes all the way back to those negative thoughts. So let's look through a cycle of imposter syndrome. So let's say you're starting to have negative thoughts because you're looking at somebody else's story and you're thinking, wow, this coach does the same thing as me and she's already hitting 10K months. Then you start feeling those feelings of unworthiness. Why haven't I hit 10K months? Why aren't I good enough to be able to be a coach in this field and hit 10K months? Then you go to limiting beliefs. Well, because I don't have X, Y, and Z, I am not able to do what she does. You almost kind of like make yourself feel better about it, but it actually comes out by way of a limiting belief. Or because I'm not good enough and because I'm not smart enough, I won't be able to get to that level anyways. And then comes the self-sabotage, which means perhaps you don't show up on stories that day because you're feeling really shitty about yourself. Or maybe you had a really great idea for a program and now you're not working on it because you think, why bother? And what that self-sabotage then carries into is more negative thoughts about yourself, about your business, and the cycle perpetuates. And I have an Instagram post about this actually. It's like a big pink circle if you go and look. I wonder what the date is. I can't remember. Actually, I think it was about 2 or 3 days ago, which would be February like 20th or something like that. But it is a post again about the imposter syndrome cycle. And if you are not careful, this cycle can repeat over and over and over again, and it's usually subconscious. So we all know that I'm a neurolinguistic programming practitioner and an hypnosis practitioner as well, and these tools are used to target the subconscious mind. And what we don't realize is the subconscious mind is responsible for 99.96% of our actions and our thoughts and our behaviors. And our conscious mind is really only responsible for 1% of our thoughts and actions and behaviors. So all of these ingrained beliefs and stories that we believe about ourselves, we may not even realize that we do, but it's affecting everything that we do. So my reasoning for doing this episode is because I really wanted to help you when you are in the middle of a struggle with imposter syndrome, or you have a ton of stuff coming up like comparison, assuming that everybody thinks you're a fraud, procrastination, perfectionism, anything that is really sabotaging what you're trying to do, Or when you know that certain things trigger your imposter syndrome the most, instead of avoiding those things, this can help you kind of ground yourself. And then I'm going to help you anchor in a state of, I think I'm going to choose confidence and calm. So I'm going to ask you to anchor in those two states into your knuckles. And if you've never done anchoring before, it can be any knuckle you want. But if you have done anchoring before, then you have to choose two knuckles that you have never anchored on before. So that's going to be at the end. But first, I want you, so when you're really feeling this negativity, when you're feeling like your thoughts are going 100 miles a minute, you're starting to feel really shitty about yourself, I want you to ground yourself. So grounding can mean a ton of different things, but for this specific exercise, I want you to just stop and engage your five senses. So what can you see, hear, touch, feel, taste? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. What can you see, hear, touch, feel, and taste? And I want you to think about these things. Obviously, you're going to taste whatever was last in your mouth. Oh, why did my mind go immediately to the dirty answer of what that would be? Anyways, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for whoever's listening to this. What can you feel immediately? So right now, so I can taste the smoothie that I just had. Gross. I can feel my robe that is really fluffy and pink, which I'm sure you've seen if you watch my Instagram stories because I'm in it for the majority of my life. I can see my ring light, which I'm looking at it and I'm just like, what a nice ring light. So glad I got that for Christmas. I can hear the sound of my old ass HP computer. I'm trying not to die while it's recording this. And what can I touch? I can touch the cold surface of the desk, and that feels really good. And this is just a way for you to stop and engage those senses, because when we're really in our head, our brain can only focus on so much at once. So giving it reasons to stop and notice what's going on helps you get out of that immediate negative feedback cycle. And now once you're grounded, I want you to ask yourself, what is your inner imposter trying to say to you right now? So I would ask myself, what is Rhonda trying to say to me right now? And again, we are separating her voice from yours. So you may be thinking to yourself, I'm a failure. I don't know how to do this. Why is she better than me? But instead of saying that it's you saying that, I say, Rhonda is saying to me that she thinks I'm going to fail and that she's afraid that we're going to fail, and that other girl is doing so much better in her niche. And then I want you to think about this. Are these thoughts true, or are they just your inner imposter's opinion? What would your higher self say? Have a conversation, kind of like the angel and the devil. Think about what would Rhonda and your higher self, so I think I talked about this in another episode, but I call my higher self Rachel. So what would Rhonda say to me right now in terms of all the negative shit, but then how would Rachel respond to her? She may say, well, Rhonda, everybody is afraid of failing, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to try. And that person is doing a great job and is established in her niche, and you will get there. You just have to keep going. These are all things that, again, I'm not asking you to have like a weirdo conversation in your head, but this is a really good way for you to separate yourself from what's happening internally. So first, I want you to ground yourself. Stop and engage the five senses. See, hear, touch, feel, and taste. And then once you're grounded, ask yourself, what is my inner imposter saying to me right now? Give her a name if that helps. And then you ask yourself, are these thoughts true, or are they just your inner imposter's opinion? 99.9% of the time, they are your inner imposter's opinion. And then how would your higher self respond? And this is a really quick, easy way for you to just be with your thoughts for a second. And first to like really feel like you are in the current and present moment, but also kind of moving through it in terms of this is what's happening right now in my head, but I'm going to come out on top on the other side and show myself compassion. Honestly, the thing that we have to remember, and I think I'm not sure if I talk about this enough, but like compassion is the way that we are going to get through anything. I used to be so mean to myself. I used to believe all the thoughts that I told myself, and I now have recurring compassionate thoughts towards myself on a daily basis. And I notice that I'm having them and I think, wow, this is such a difference from how I felt last year. Like, I can't even believe it. But it starts with compassion. And I wouldn't necessarily call it self-love because I feel like that's kind of overused. But being compassionate towards yourself is like acknowledging that you've come so far and being like, you're doing good. And even if you fail, that's okay. Like, I'll pick you back up and we'll be fine. And that's what I wanted to accomplish with this little grounding exercise. And then let's talk about anchoring. So we're going to be super short and sweet today. So anchoring is allowing yourself to feel a certain state at any given time. So a state can be interchangeable with emotion. So if you hear me talking about state or emotion, they're essentially the same thing. And anchoring is something that I learned in my neurolinguistic programming training, and it's an amazing tool in the class. And actually, I've had NLP sessions before in which I anchored in confidence and abundance and love. So whenever I tap on my right hand first knuckle, I can like really feel like this energy surge through my body. I feel confident. I feel amazing. So I want to instill this in you. So how it works is I am going to ask you a series of questions. They're super short. And essentially I'm going to get you to close your eyes and think. If you're driving, please don't close your eyes. Please do this another time. When you close your eyes, if you're not driving, I want you to think about a time in which you had like a really surge, like a huge surge of emotion. So we're going to use calm and we're going to use confident. We're not going to do them at the same time. So the first one we're going to do is confidence, and then the second one we're going to feel is calmness. But think of a time in which you felt totally confident, and actually try and think of like a very specific time. And if you can't, think about what confidence would feel like. If you have a really hard time thinking about what confidence would feel like, or thinking about a time in which you felt confident, and just think about what that confidence would actually feel like, okay? But I'm sure you will have no problem thinking of an amazing time in which you felt so confident. It can be from when you were 5 years old to yesterday. I don't care. But as I'm asking you these questions, I'm going to ask you to really feel the feelings. And when you are at the peak of that emotion, I want you to hold down on a knuckle of your choice for between 5 to 10 seconds, and I will let you know when it's time to let go. But really try and hold on to that knuckle with your finger when you are feeling the peak of that emotion. So are you ready? So we are going to anchor in confidence right now. And so I want you to take a big deep breath. Can you hear Dustin in the background doing the dishes? Bless him. Okay. And you're going to close your eyes. So, can you remember a time when you felt totally and completely confident? Can you remember a specific time? When you think about that time, float down into your body and see what you saw, hear what you heard, and feel the feelings of feeling totally and completely confident. You're going back to that time now, and you're feeling so confident and abundant, and now you're holding on to that anchor at the peak of your emotion. You're feeling so confident and amazing, and that energy is surging through your body into your knuckle. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and let go of the knuckle. And that's how it is. So if you need to go back and listen to that, you totally can. But you're basically just really feeling in the feelings of a certain emotion that you had. And the brain doesn't know the difference between you feeling that emotion last week to you feeling that emotion right now. If you're doing all the neural work, then it is going to be like, yeah, you feel really fucking confident right now. And it's going to anchor into your knuckle. A cool thing about anchoring before we do calmness is that anchoring is like one of the things we learned in NLP is like it's for high levels of emotion. So sometimes when kids are like embarrassed when they get hugged by their mom, it's because perhaps when they used to feel really high states of emotion like sadness or anger when they were kids, they would get hugged by their mom and they would anchor into feeling that hug and feeling like that surge of emotion. Or like when you smell a smell or hear a song or something and it brings you back to that moment, it's because at that time you were feeling a surge of really high emotion and it's taking you back to that time and giving you all the same feelings. So it's actually really cool and it can be used in so many different aspects. Okay, so now we're going to anchor in calmness. So you can take another deep breath. Close your eyes. And can you remember a time when you felt totally and completely calm? Do you remember a specific time? As you go back to that time now, float down into your body and see what you saw, hear what you heard, and really feel the feelings of feeling totally and completely calm. You feel so grounded and so at ease, and once you're at that peak of the emotion, you can hold down on that second knuckle, feeling so calm and relaxed. And when you're ready, you can let go of the anchor and open your eyes. I wonder if you heard Dustin sneeze in the background there. He's like, "Can I shower?" And I was like, yeah. And it's because his bathroom is right next to my office. So whenever he goes in there and turns on the fan or turns on the shower, it's so fucking loud. But poor guy. Anyways, how was that anchoring? Was it cool? I actually do this in my NLP breakthrough sessions. And if you have not gotten one of those sessions, you have to. I'm going to be doing a birthday sale next week for my birthday. You're going to get $100 off an NLP breakthrough session. So instead of $475 US, it's going to be $375 US. And this is a fucking steal because these breakthrough sessions are amazing. They are life-changing. All of my reviews from these sessions have been, "This was life-changing. This changed my life." And if you need to see those reviews, please send me a DM on Instagram at YourCoachJill, and I will be happy to share with you because I want to help you bust through any stories or limiting beliefs that are holding you back. And I know that they are because you're listening to this episode. And if this helped you, please screenshot the episode and share it with me on Instagram, on your Instagram story, and tag me at YourCoachJill. And message me and see how we can work together and how we can improve your life using NLP and hypnosis and all those amazing things so you can get everything you want in life. And I really hope that this grounding episode has helped you through whatever imposter syndrome cycle you are experiencing. It's helped me immensely. It's really helped my clients, and that's why I wanted to give you this little taste of how you can improve your mindset on a daily basis. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks so much for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast with me, Jillian Perrick. If you loved this episode, take a screenshot and share it on your Instagram story. And don't forget to tag me at YourCoachJill. Of course, I'd love for you to rate the podcast 5 stars and leave a review. And if you screenshot your review and send it to me at YourCoachJill on Instagram, I'll send you a free gift. At the very least, make sure you follow me on Instagram, again at YourCoachJill, for tons of free content, strategies, and inspo. See you next time.